Red Flags of Emotional Repression, Part 21, The Need for Unconditional Love. Sometimes I think, who's watching these that doesn't have these red flags in themselves? But that makes sense because most people have emotional repression in their bodies, to some degree. So the need for unconditional love, it's pretty universal. But why is it such a thing? Why do we need to be loved and accepted unconditionally? Well, the more I do KI's emotional repression work, the more I recognize that it's because my whole personality and sense of self is made up of conditions. Meaning, whether I know it or not, I'm believing things about myself, others, and the world. Beliefs are conditions. For example, if in my body-mind I've been conditioned to believe that I'm not good enough, then that disallows any other condition to be true in my experience. So, I am good enough? No, I'm not good enough. That's the truth. That's my reality because I believe it. That's my condition. Another example would be a hurt or anger repressor's belief that I can't feel or express this hurt or anger, right? It's not okay to feel and express these feelings. Those are conditions that we put on ourselves unknowingly, and usually in childhood. So how does this tie in with the need for unconditional love? Well, let me ask you this. If you didn't already have conditions on yourself, would you need other people to not have conditions on you? Being stuck in emotional repression and its accompanying belief systems is akin to being starving and having a full plate of dinner in front of you, but throwing it on the floor and demanding that other people give you their dinner and feed you. And when they do, throwing that on the floor too. Maybe I'm stretching the metaphor, but the point is, when emotions are being repressed and I'm putting conditions on myself, I'm denying myself resources, and then I'm looking out there for those same resources. I need unconditional love because I can't unconditionally love myself, yeah? I've been programmed to repress myself instead. Try this little test for yourself. The times that you have been unconditionally loved and accepted and you felt really good about that, how long has that lasted? Was it sort of like taking a hit of a drug and then having it wear off? Yeah, good, because that's what's happening. When we're in emotional repression, any kind of unconditional love or acceptance or approval from the outside is like a temporary fix for us. We get high for a second and then we realize, oh, I'm still repressing my emotions and suffering, right? And by the way, this is the basis of all addictions. Bad ones like drugs, alcohol, sex, and gambling, and good ones like meditation, prayer, breath work, spirituality. Any attempt to soothe a dysregulated nervous system that's dysregulated because of the repression of buried emotions without addressing the repression of buried emotions is 1, totally fine, 2, totally ineffective, and 3, totally counterproductive. Because it reinforces our emotional repression and perpetuates the endless cycle of pleasure and pain. So your need for unconditional love from out there is misdirected. It's actually a call from the inside for you to address the conditions and the repression that's driving your own suffering. Put even more simply, if we remove the conditions that we've placed on ourselves, we're not going to mind what other people out there are doing or not doing. If you'd like to learn how to do KI's emotional repression inquiry, visit repressiontest.com.